Hello everybody, welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing a fairly brief video on my Drytron deck profile. I'm going to be heading to locals for the first time since the ban list. Haven't had the time to be able to get there, but finally we'll have a chance, and I've been really keen to get Drytron going now. Obviously Bistials still exist, though certainly since the ban list their representation should be much lower. I know that there's quite a few people at locals who are on Kashtira or who have bought Kashtira, so we'll have to see what that looks like, but I'm pretty keen to give Drytron a go and just see how we go. I think it's at least playable now with the shufflers and the Bistials kind of taking a back seat. Bistials, the shufflers obviously being on the ban list limited, so we will see how it performs, but I will get straight into the profile. Finally have acquired collector's rare Draconids in the interim while Drytron was unplayable. I picked it up nice and cheap, so we do have one big Draconids. We do have 3 Alpha, of course, 3 Zeta, of course, 2 Gamma, and 2 Delta, so 10 names. And then with the rest of the Drytron cards, we're of course playing Cyber Emergency, Nova, Fafnir, and we've got 2 Ritual Spell. One only in Ultra Rare, I'm afraid, but the existence of Kashtira has made my rarities unmatched, but that's okay. So we're playing 2 because, we don't want to have it get banished. That would be very frustrating. But that is the Drytron kind of portion of the deck. Then we have 3 Benten, 1 Natasha, 1 Vanity's Ruler, 1 Diviner, 1 Herald of Orange Light, and 1 Lancia. And then I guess to go with all that, we also have 3 Preparation of Rites, and then also 1 Magician of Black Chaos Max. So I don't know if you've seen it, but Drytron now has a really cool combo with Magician of Black Chaos Max and the new Link monster Dynamondo. This pretty much allows you to summon Magician on your opponent's turn, which has an effect on summon to lock your opponent out of all monster effects, which is crazy. And if you can kind of pull that off, you should be winning the game, or at least on the crackback winning. But we're playing both Magician of Black Chaos and Vanity's Ruler. I mean, typically you would see builds kind of favor towards one or the other. It's really hard to choose which way to play because I think that I would not be surprised to see a lot of people at my locals on Nibiru. And if you played a version that kind of just turbos out Black Chaos Max, then you are asking yourself to get Nibiru'd, which would be a bit of a pain. But then I really like that Vanity's Ruler, in 5 summons can summon itself, which locks out Nibiru plus Bistials. Though really, I mean, your opponent has already kind of Bistialed at that point if, you're getting to Vanity's Ruler. But, there certainly is a combo that can kind of achieve both of these, and you should just win the game if you're getting Magician and Vanities both on field. So I'll show that combo. It is a 3-card combo, but I mean, you play enough consistency cards that you should see it. But, even if you don't, you can kind of play towards either of these as kind of a win condition. It's tricky because I would say that Vanity's Ruler is certainly the safer option because you don't get punished by Nibiru. But then at the same time, thinking of the cards that are prevalent in the format, like Book of Eclipse, not Dark Ruler so much, but Book of Eclipse and, things like Talents or Enemy Controller. I mean, they all kind of out Vanity's Ruler, whereas this gets outed by a lot less. But it's a bit of a predicament in that Nibiru certainly would hurt if you were just focusing on Magician of Black Chaos Max. So playing both, and I'm just really keen to just get into it and see how it performs. And I'll show you the combo at the end that does both, just because it's kind of crazy. Then 1/3 Ash, branded is a bit of a hit at my local, so I kind of feel weird not having it in the list, but then it also is a funny one because in matchups other than branded, it seems low impact compared to what Drytron normally plays, especially because I can only kind of fit 9 non-engine. So that's Ash, it's Book of Eclipse, and 1, 2 Talents, 1 Called By. So the deck's 41 cards. I'm pretty happy that I've got 9 disruptive cards in there. There's certainly a heap more we can kind of sideboard into, but Certainly, I kind of want to have Ash in the main. Yeah, just because in the past, Branded has been a pretty popular deck. And I can only expect to be more popular in this new format. Then for the extra deck, I'll show you this one first. It's Dynamondo. Crazy that I only have one. I've opened a heap of packs, but only one Dynamondo. But I'm acquiring the second one tonight. But pretty much this, as a quick effect, in your opponent's turn, you contribute it, then target a ritual monster in your graveyard, either add it to your hand or special summon. So we're using it to tribute and bring out Magician of Black Chaos Max on our opponent's turn. And then it's got an effect when special summon to target a card in the field and a ritual monster in graveyard and shuffle both into the deck, which is pretty crazy as a disruption. So if you, end with a ritual monster on board and like something like an IP, you could IP into Dynamondo and it's a disruption. Even just going second, it's a disruption. It does require a ritual monster. So, the requirements are not super generic, but in a deck like Drytron, it's generic enough. On the crackback, we're certainly summoning Natasha. We could link Natasha and whatever something into Dynamondo, and then we've got Natasha plays to go into Borrel Sword and win. So that's Dynamondo. Playing 2 because cash is a thing, but potentially could even use 2. Then we're on Mubeta and Zeus, Beatrice and Downed as the XEs, and then 1 Herald, 1 Elder, because obviously we do have the Diviner. Yeah, it's interesting because, the Diviner allows Beatrice plays, which is why we play it. But it's hard when you're only playing 1 and you're not really focusing on it, but to dedicate these 2 extra deck spots. But kind of got to do what's necessary. Then for the links, Borrel Sword, Unicorn, IP, Herald of Mirage Lights, and Anima. We'll see how we go. I'm not really sold on IP. I don't know necessarily how much that's going to come up, but I'm keen to give it a go. And if anything, it's just a link monster you can link into and then go into Borrel Sword, and you've got a Borrel Sword that can't be destroyed by battle or card effects, and you should just win off that. So yeah, keen to just see how that performs as well. The side deck at the moment is the 2 Magic Keys for just going first purposes. Then we are on Lava Golem because it kind of goes hand in hand with Drytron. I'm playing Gamma. This is purely just a theory kind of crafting thing. I'm pretty keen to go second against Kashtira. I don't know if that's a mistake. This is kind of my first kind of dabbling into the new format, but my logic is that going first against Kashtira, if they drop Shifter, there's not much that the Drytron deck can do in that position. If your hand is good enough, you could maybe get to Vanities, but it's going to be expensive to do that. Probably cost a lot of your hand to get there. So by going second against Kashtira, they have to play Shifter when you don't have any monsters. Otherwise, they're not going to Shifter you. Now, I think they still shotgun Shifter for sure because it's just a crazy card. So this way, I at least have an out for Shifter by making them go second. And then we're still on plenty of board breaking cards like Lava Golem, like Book of Eclipse, that certainly will help in dismantling whatever board they put together. Obviously it does leave me susceptible to the extra deck being kind of ripped apart a little bit, but yeah, I think that's the kind of the trade-off I'm making here. I don't know, it's probably a mistake, but keen to give it a go. So Gamma on Shifter seems pretty free. Obviously it means like I'm relying on searching my 3 of for their 3 of, but kind of want to give it a go. Gamma certainly would kind of go crazy in some other matchups. Yeah, it's just a thought at the moment, and we'll just see how it goes. To enemy controller, I was just thinking of how to kind of best ratio these spaces. So it's 2 enemy controller, 2 cosmic, and 2 evenly. I kind of want to respect the back row. I don't know if I should just be going 3 evenly and 3 enemy controller. That's certainly something I might do. But I also, kind of want to have cosmic. I don't think Runic will be a thing at my locals, but just in case, you don't know. So cosmic's kind of just that catch-all card. And then also, if we're going second, anti-spell is just such a bane for Drytron because you have so many big spells that you need to resolve. So yeah, got cosmic and evenly, so it's 4 copies of cards that are decent against back row. And I kind of wanted to have enemy controller as another play against Ibli, because the only card we can really normal summon outside of Herald of Orange Light, we can normal summon Orange Light, Diviner, and Ash. But other than that, everything requires a special summon. So enemy controller to out Ibli is another consideration. So this is kind of the side deck at the moment, and just, yeah, it's just lots of generically good cards. But I'll show you the combo that does, the crazy things, the unbeatable end board. But yeah, I won't really do any test hands for this one. Okay, so the combo is Alpha Zeta and then access to Benton. So this preparation could be Benton, of course, but Alpha Zeta and then Benton. So we'll prep for Benton. And then we would go Alpha Zeta, searching the Magician of Black Chaos Max. Then Zeta Benton. Medionis, and then Benton's going to grab the Vanity's Ruler. Then we're going to overlay. For Mubeta, Mubeta is going to send Gamma. I think there potentially is a better way of sequencing the starting play there. I think we can play around a Bestial if we go Alpha Tribute Benton, but I'll have a play with it and see how we go with that. Yeah, so we dumped Gamma, and then we're going to activate Medionis, take material off, summon Benton. In either way, the Gamma is very susceptible to a Bestial anyway. Then we're going to Tribute. We can target the Mubeta, add back the Medionis, and then Tribute for Vanity's Ruler. So that's 5 summons, and Benton will activate again, and we can grab Herald of Orange Light, again Gamma, tributing Magician, summoning out. Going to overlay for our second. So this is where an argument could be made for the third Mubeta, because you kind of do go through both in this combo. We're going to Medionis 2 materials for Magician of Black Chaos Max. And then we can simply link 2 into the Dynamond, and it's just like that. Like I said, there might be a better way of kind of going about that, but that's kind of the starting point here. And then on our opponent's turn, we can tribute the Dynamond in the draw phase, bring back the Magician of Black Chaos Max, tribute it off, and now there's no monster effects or special summons. So you should be winning at that point. And then we've searched the Orange Light. There, I mean, really, instead of searching Orange Light, if you've got Under the Fairy, searching Orange Light's not terrible. But the other thing you could certainly do is search the second Benton, just to kind of ensure you've got that follow-up. Or you search Lancia if you know your opponent's on cash. Or if you suspect they're on cash, you could grab Lancia additionally. But, if you're resolving Vanity's Ruler and Magician, you should still just be winning at that point. And then on the crackback, you've got all the Drytron names. You search Benton, and you just win from there. But yeah, that's the combo. I won't really do any test hands. I do need to be heading off to locals pretty quickly, so I'll see how we go.